Okay. So welcome, folks, to the October 20th meeting of the Easthampton Parks and Recreation Commission. Just a notification for everyone. Pursuant to Governor Baker's March 12th, 2020 order suspending certain provisions of the open meeting law and the Governor's March 15th, 2020 order imposing strict limitations on the number of people that may gather in one place, this meeting of the Parks and Recreation Commission is being conducted via remote participation. No in-person attendance of members of the public will be permitted, but every effort will be made to ensure that the public can adequately access the proceedings as provided for in the order. A reminder that persons who would like to listen to or view this meeting while in progress may do so by accessing the Zoom link hidden in the agenda, or just written in the agenda. We will post a record of this meeting on the Easthampton Media website as soon as we are able. All set on that. And let's see. Pull up that agenda. Okay, we'll go right into public speak. Very sadly, there is no one here from the public for public speak. So with that in mind, we can continue right on to 2021 park rentals.
You want to do meeting minutes because they were attached?
Oh,
right?
You know what? They're not in the agenda. I just skipped right past it. But yes, let's look at the meeting minutes. And I don't know if can we even approve the older ones, because I don't think Brian or JT were on them.
Yeah. So if you're, so we can only approve last meeting because we're missing a number of folks that were at the other meeting. And like I said, I called you today. Eric will not be on the call tonight, so
right.
we can table that one, but as long as everybody has it and we know we have it for next time.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Well, we can approve the September meeting, the minutes, can't we?
We can.
Yeah.
Yes. If there were a motion and a second, we could do that.
I motion to accept the minutes from September's meeting.
Excellent. Is there a second? Thank you, Brian. Any discussion on those minutes? Any adjustments anybody noticed? Oh, wait, looks like we have a new addition. Here comes Bob.
Here comes Bob.
He's going to miss that opportunity to hit a double on that last one.
Yeah. Hello, Bob. Oh, no, it's Laney. Cannot hear you.
You're muted.
Laney.
Okay, I see Judy's checking in.
Yeah.
Bob's wife is the one underneath there. And Laney, you're muted.
I just wanted to make sure I could get in before Judy get in. So did Judy get through?
It looks like she's connecting in right now.
Good. Okay. I just wanted to make sure.
Thank you.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
Let me give the park rental update since there really isn't any, just, coming to this season's end on park rentals is all. And park closes, soft closing is November 1st, but then we base it on soccer, high school and youth soccer have events and practices still. So we kind of, don't do a full closure until they're all done.
Yeah, that's fine as we wait for that to. Oh, Bob, are you there? it looks
Sorry,
like
John. Soft
connected.
closes when?
The park closes officially November 1st, but the soft closing usually lasts about a week to 10 days of still accommodating high school and youth soccer, so they can get into the park and
Okay.
do what they can.
So yes, Bob or Judy, it looks like you're connected, but you're on mute. Yeah. Well, this really throws a complication into our motion to approve those meeting minutes. But we could go ahead and just, well, I don't know.
We'll keep up with the agenda and see if we can circle back to that.
Okay, let's do that. So we're going to table that discussion on the meeting minutes for now, and we're going to continue to the next agenda items, unless you had anything else to add about park rentals, but otherwise we can continue to Harvest Fest 2021, which takes place in only 3 days.
Yeah, we're right around the corner. So yeah, as we talked last meeting, scaled down version, pumpkin carving judging will take place. We won't have people carving pumpkins and sharing the stuff that is required to carve, the carving materials. So we're inviting people just to drop off their pumpkins that night, and then we'll go into the bonfire. So we'll have our bonfire. The public safety fire department is going to bring their ladder truck down, and they're going to participate. Have kids, touch the truck kind of thing. Walk around, and so they'll be on site as well, providing services for the bonfire, hopefully that we don't need, and then just general public awareness of fire safety. And then we'll have some short cartoons on the big screen outdoors, and then we'll do we'll hand out some candy. We're encouraging folks to come dressed in Halloween costumes for that evening as well, and enjoy some sense of normalcy that we missed out on last year. And if anybody's interested in coming down and helping out or whatever, or just watching the movie and hanging out, feel free. You could always use a couple of folks. I'm not sure how busy the candy handout's going to be. It's not going to be in bags. We're going to have boxes of candy, and we're just going to give handfuls of candy as the kids come through. We're also encouraging kids to bring their own bucket or Halloween bag, but we do have our usual lunch bags that we will provide if folks do forget to bring a bag for the candy.
Do you know, John, if it was approved this year to light the bonfire with the flaming arrow?
No, we didn't go with that request, but it's still a good idea as far as Sam's concerned.
Last I heard, the fire chief was down with it, but that was a couple of years ago. I think there's a new chief now.
Yeah, there is a new chief.
New chief in town.
Good memory on that one, Paul. That's for sure. Any questions on the Harvest Fest? And then we'll move on to the Woo Sox. We had the Woo Sox in, thanks to the city and Little League and Omar and everybody involved. I was down there, very active group, participating in drills. A follow-up, I talked to the mayor today. She was down there, and the follow-up was the Woo Sox were very excited. We're happy with how many kids came out. Good event, nice day. And they're looking for a potential partnership with the city down the line of maybe a buses, trip to go see a Woo Sox game and have a clinic on the field and all kinds of stuff like that. So I think that relationship will mature through the years, and I think it's a good baseline start. So thanks for everyone who got involved and got the ball rolling. And if there's any way we can help or be involved or spread the word, if there is a Woo Sox Day for Easthampton, we will definitely be an active participant in getting the word out.
Yeah, I just want to say I spoke to a lot of parents who said it went fantastic. I had to work all day, so I wasn't able to get down there myself, but I had a lot of feedback from parents who said their kids had a great time. The weather, as you referenced, was great. And it was spoken that, they're looking for an Easthampton Day, come when the season opens up sometime in the spring or early summer. So I think that'll be, like you said, a good partnership.
Yeah. And the other thing I should mention is how great of a job the staff did getting the fields prepared and looking as good as they did. And it was noticed. The representatives from Woo Sox were amazed about how nice those fields were down there. So that was a nice pat on the back for the guys that put a lot of effort into it, and Little League as well for the financial backing they give towards those fields. So it was nice to have outside folks at the professional level notice what kind of facility we have for our youth. So that was really nice to hear.
No, and I want to double down on that because I hear that throughout the summer from other coaches who visit us from other towns, who travel extensively to other parks and other cities and constantly compliment us on the facilities we have here. So that is a great nod to the staff and to John at the park. I got to agree.
Great.
All right. Budget 2022, nothing too pressing on that. We did receive our reimbursement for I do an Attorney General's office does a summer employment reimbursement grant to hire youth that participate in the Camp Bonatuck program. So some of the money we pay for payroll to employ those high school kids gets reimbursed through a grant, and we've had 4 or 5 years in succession of receiving that grant, and it's money well spent to get kids employed and develop professional skills. We talk about what we do for camp with they go through first aid, CPR training. They go through 2 full days of training regarding the employee handbook and conduct and safety and things like that. So, and even just the interview process is huge when kids go through the interview process to build upon professional skills. So this is a good grant, and it works out for us and for the kids. And then as far as spending, we're pretty good. Nothing too crazy on spending. No major money issues for expenses, so that's good. As part of this, I also wanted to talk about CPA funding that I'm going to be applying for next month, and it's going to be a 3-prong attack to CPA. I did get the proposal from the Pioneer Valley Planning Commission regarding designating the stone building and the cemetery building, and the cost of the work to designate a historical site. And it's $5,730 is the proposal. And it's a lot of legwork that they do to get this done. And Shannon, who's a historic preservation planner, this is right up her alley. This is what she does. So I think it's a no-brainer to help to get those, the first step of getting those, and then being able to attack getting historical dollars to put back into those buildings and eventually get them back online. Well, at least get the stone building bathroom online, but the Brookside Cemetery building as well needs, the slate roof needs repairs, things like that. So there's work to be done there as well. So hopefully we can piggyback some finances for that. The nationwide aquatics for the pool work, and that would be inside the fencing area of the pool. So that's more of the structural. They have given me an oral proposal. Rob's away visiting his daughter. They had their first grandchild. So he told me hopefully by the end of the week, but I do have a verbal quote, and he said he won't go over $5,000 on that, but I just told him to get it in writing for us. He has done the work previously. He's very familiar with our pool in the park. So we'll have a probably a $5,000 request for that. And then the Beta Group, which is a firm that helps get park grants, and they specialize in green space and accessibility planning. We had an initial meeting with them. We have a follow-up meeting coming next week. Not sure the date yet, but I haven't got financial numbers from them. But they are excited about the project, and it's once again, it's one of those things that's right up their alley. So I will have 3 proposals that I'm going to submit all at once to CPA. A couple of small dollar ones, around the $5,000 mark, and then we'll see what the Beta Group comes in for their proposal. So that's where we're at for those projects. If anybody has any questions on those. No, everybody's good.
Sorry, John, quick question. So you got these Nationwide Aquatics and Beta Group are helping you with the 3 proposals.
What's that? I'm sorry.
The Nationwide Aquatics and the Beta Group are assisting you with these 3 proposals, correct?
Pioneer Valley Planning Commission, so PVPC.
All right, Pioneer
is the historical one.
Okay.
Nationwide Aquatics is structural, pool structural.
For the pool, okay, and the Beta Group is which one?
Beta is outside of the pool fencing area.
Outside of pool, okay.
Accessibility and green space improvements.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you. Bike path. So everybody received a updated feasibility study. Before we dive in, I'm going to try to eliminate as many questions or answer as many questions in advance. Couple of things on this. We had a conference call last Friday. The state released the figures of how much they would fund it for, some specific guidelines. People were able to ask questions, about proposals and what could get funded, what can't get funded, things like that. One of the questions, not from our community, but another community asked, was when you're connecting 2 schools, is that a good project that is favorable? And, they agreed. They're like, yes, that's one of those jobs that could get done if you can connect schools, would save bike paths and walking paths. That's a home run. They love that idea. And that's kind of what we're looking for. The other thing is it's $1.5 to $2 million funding for these projects. So it's a good number that can get a lot of work done. Another thing is they said be prepared for 2, 3, 4 year out projects. So maybe funding released by July of next year. The following, you're doing planning. They said this is not, you're not going to do this work, turn around money in January and expect your project to be done in a year. It's more of a drawn out process. It's part of a long-term planning because you can get more than one grant. So what we have is it's segmented. The money that we would propose going forward on this is just interior of the park. So Daly Field in the park, down and connecting to the new Mountain View School. It would not touch anything on city streets. This is just park only And then if that is funded, you start showing how you can do connectivity from that point to other points in the city. So there'd be a separate phase and a separate opportunity to go out and get more grant funding for that. I met with Brian Hillpolt, who's on the commission and our closest neighbor. I met with him on Saturday. We talked about the project. He was going to reach out to the neighbors and get the temperature and feel of what their thoughts are. If it's not warm and fuzzy, we definitely want to hear. We always want to be good neighbors. We want to be partners with our neighbors, and we want to make sure we maintain that. And one of the things I talked to him about was, as part of this project would be new fencing for those neighbors and that abut the park property that would have park access on their side. So, gate access from their backyards to the park if they were interested in having that, so they wouldn't have to walk around, because some of them, they all have park access immediately out of their backyards. And I thought that was important to make sure we maintain that, but it would be on their side where they can control the flow of who comes and goes with a locking system on their side. So this is all the stuff we're thinking about maintenance wise. We're comfortable with the maintenance situation based on how far this is out of a project, and as part of our master plan and for budget season next year, it's on there for we've talked about doing the outside park laborer, and when I mean outside of specifically the park. So when we look at the East Street property, possibly helping out with the rail trail, Main Street Cemetery, the promenade, all these other Pleasant Green, all these properties that we have that take resources, not only equipment wise and human resources away to take care of this, those types of properties, as we keep adding more and more areas that we're in charge of. Getting a staff member that would kind of have their own truck, trailer, and lawnmower, and just go out and hammer out those spots, and that way we can take care of the 280 acres that is a bull that we have to deal with on a daily basis.
Supposed to be able to talk with this?
Yes, Bob. Hey, Bob, we can hear you.
You can hear me finally?
Yes, we can.
Okay, good. Well, I've been here the whole time listening, and we've got a crazy situation going. I don't know what's up, but I'm hearing it all.
Great.
That's good. Thank you, Bob.
So, John, did you mention the rail trail? You mean we'd hire a new park or add a new position to the park, and they would partly be responsible for...
They would help with the rail trail help with the rail trail as well. That was one of those, they're right now they have so we have two people working as the senior tax credit program that that's put in place, and seniors come work. We have two of them. One helps out at Main Street Cemetery. The other one helps out with the bike path. So in lieu of payment, they get reduced a tax credit on their real estate taxes for the city. So the assistance coming, whether it's DPW, whether it's us, it's on the horizon of the rail trail needing help, whether it's 5-10 hours a week, which could be allotted. But this is future planning. It's coming at some point in the future, and we need to be ready for it, and we need to have the staffing to be able to handle any issue that could come with that.
Okay.
As far as the plan itself, it was reviewed. I had the consultant come back in. Jeff carved out some time, which was great. We had some really nice discussions about tweaking the original draft that that was out there, or that was internally, that was given to us. And like I said, Jeff's intent was to make sure Daly Field Road was looked at and upgraded. And that was one of the main reasons for putting the bike path going that way. But like I said, we talked about tree removal and other things that were obstacles that were going to be tough for that. So one of the things I suggested was that route that is proposed as a potential route is used quite a bit already. Folks kind of take that tree line and come back around towards that stone building. But like I said, we want to get feedback from the neighbors and make sure they're comfortable with it. It's not going to be crazy flow traffic like the rail trail is. It's going to be just the same type of people, groups that come in and walk dogs and do their thing that are normally here. And then hopefully just some busy times when the schools let out in a safe passage home. So.
Okay. What's the time frame? What's the timeline on this look like?
So getting there, December 1st? Yeah, December 1st. It was like the state wants a 6-week turnaround on this grant. So that's why, I wanted to get this information out. Like we said, it's not going to be shovel ready for years and years, but it's getting the planning in place. So we would have tonight and then next meeting to hash out anything that was of concern. But we definitely have to, by next meeting, would have to get anything to Jeff, but I would prefer if there was anything major to get it done tonight.
Okay. As far as collecting the feedback, I'm sure we could collect it and then distribute it amongst the commission. But do we want to invite people to come speak at our next meeting?
I talked to Brian about kind of being the neighborhood liaison.
Okay.
He's been there. That's been the family house. They have deep roots for that neighborhood, and he's a very active participant in the neighborhood. So he has good relations with everybody in that neighborhood. So like he took that opportunity to assist in that. So I think he's going to speak on this bike trail as well tonight.
Yeah, John, just as a follow up there, I have reached out to my neighbors there. A couple of them kind of have conflicting schedules with mine. I've been on the road as well, so looks like this weekend I'll be chatting with some of those folks, and I'll be happy to give all that feedback to you guys.
Great. Anybody else?
All right.
Thoughts,
So,
concerns?
Yeah, I got just a quick question. I looked at the map. So it's going to come off of the Willis. If I read that right, it's going to come off of near where Williston is.
Yeah, it'll come off where it'll enter where the stone building bathroom is.
Okay. So the theory being that kids are going to use that trail to walk to school?
They're going to use the long-term plan is to connect the rail trail to that piece down the road.
So not to be negative, but a kid who could walk up the rail trail, get off on I'm not sure what the heck street that is, that where the rail trail goes right across. I'm not sure if that's South Street. Is that South Street? I'm not sure what street that is, but anyway.
Where you're crossing, yeah.
Yeah, he's going to walk instead of taking the rail trail, going on Park Street and going up and over the hill and going right to school. He's going to walk all the way around the park to get to school.
I think it's more when there's connecting to the other side of town, and when they're using our facilities, right now, the traffic, there is a ton of kids that already use that coming from Whitebrook to the park, whether they're going to stop at the park and goof around and play or get ready for practice or whatever, or just exit right up and head towards the high school or head towards Williston Ave.
Okay.
There is because there's a trail there already. There's an active trail that kids are using regularly.
Okay. So it's okay. So basically, you're just kind of looking at making it more of a formal trail, right?
Yeah, and it's for bike. It's for bike path. It's for kids on bikes and we would hope that Park Ave gets upgraded as well, or Park Street and the sidewalks there, and give kids and just everybody in general a safer path, or whether they're just going down to the corner store or they're going downtown or whatever they're doing. But the main goal at the end of the day is to connect the rail trail to this side of town, where it just cuts off. It comes through there. They cut across Phillips Manufacturing to come through. Like in one of the, if something ever gets done on the street side, Williston would have, the Williston kids would be able to have a safer path from school to the fields as well. So not only our kids, but just everybody providing a safe opportunity for all.
Okay. Thank you.
And long story short here is, yes, the goal is always, this is one of the kind of the cobwebs that reach out, spider webs that reach out off of the rail trail, connecting various pockets throughout the city. So this is one that, using street smart school safety money, helps. So there's a pocket of money that would help with this process that makes sense, where other ones may not be eligible for something like that, where it'd have to come from CPA, the state, or whoever to connect other different spots in the city with the rail trail.
So I'm just wondering, I think you guys can all see my screen now. I know we had talked about the traffic project, right? And having the traffic kind of flow in reverse direction of how it currently does in the future. Mm-hmm. But with that in mind, just presuming that we do that in the future, does that make a difference in terms of how you would want to see children doing, like, as far as like segment 2B or 2A, where they either walk along the currently existing road or they kind of walk behind the field and then connect down at the intersection right now where we kind of have the toll, or in around there?
Yeah, that we'd encourage segment 2B there. Yeah, we'd want people to use that path, and then figure out the roadway. Regardless, the roadway, if there's an opportunity to upgrade the roadway, it's something we'd have to look at as well.
Mm.
Hey, John, we're not going to screw with Joe Duchesne's fence, are we? I don't want him coming for the
That chapter's closed, Andy.
It's
Do we have to ask him first before we can do this?
I actually have it measured out, and I had it measured for 8 feet and 12 feet. 12 feet is way too aggressive as far as I'm concerned for a walk path, but either one is not in the outfield of the fence line, because the fence line you can still see there, so that it would not interfere with anything with the ball fields. So, but yes, good question on that. It will not have any interference.
What happened?
Anybody else?
No, but I'm listening.
And like we said, I think it's important when Brian gets that feedback for next meeting, but and get the temperature of the neighborhood.
So presumably next meeting we're going to want to vote on this in order to get the time frame for what the city wants.
I think I don't know if it's I'll talk to Jeff if it need a real solid vote, or
yeah. Sorry, Andy, you're on mute.
Probably need a
Like a letter of recommendation type thing?
Yeah, we probably need a letter of recommendation, like, yeah, we support, or if we want to, mark it up and say we support this, but we'd really like to see Daly Field get redone while we're doing the Daly Field Road get redone while we're at it, and the entrance, and kind of throw something, some stuff on top of it that, yes, this is great. If there's any additional funds available, or, we'd like to see X, Y, and Z done as well, just so it's at least on record of how important it is on top of the bike.
Might as well ask.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Anything else on that? If not, I can get it to the public art meeting that was happening tonight. There's 2 projects that were being discussed. So for next meeting, I should have a design of what they're looking to do. And that's more of an FYI because it's not technically on our property. But I was part of the public art committee, and at least show you what it'll be at the entrance of Millside Park. So it's down right at the beginning, opposite of the deck there where the cafe or lunch thing was. So, and then that's it for me, for my list.
All right. Well, that's pretty good. I would like us to return now that we got Bob online to
Yep.
to taking care of those meeting minutes, or at least the one that we can do from September. I'm not actually sure, Andy. This never happened before. Do we need to make a new motion for this, or do we just?
I'm thinking since you put it on hold, we can just vote. You already got the motion in a second.
Yeah,
right?
the motion's still on the table.
Okay, great.
We vote.
All right. Well, in that case, if there's no further discussion on the minutes, I'd like to move us to a vote. We're going to have to do this in a roll call fashion, so I'll call you out and just let me know, yay or nay. So I'm going to start with you, JT.
Yay.
Okay, Andy.
I got to abstain. I wasn't there.
Oh, gotcha. Brian
Yay.
and Bob.
Oh, yes.
All right, and none in favor as well. So we'll call it unanimous.
September's approved.
One abstention.
So.
August is tabled till next meeting.
That's right. Yeah. Got to get Jim back. Jim and Eric.
Yeah, we'll get them for next meeting.
All right, fellows. Well, I think that concludes the agenda, unless there's any old or continuing or new business somebody would like to bring up.
Red Sox are down 1-0.
Yeah, they've been down 1-0 since we started.
Yeah.
Darn it.
Double play.
All right. Well, with that in mind, is there would anyone like to make a motion to adjourn?
I make a motion to adjourn.
All right,
second.
Bob. All right, JT, did you second that? Is that what I heard?
I seconded that.
Okay. Motion on the table. Again, we're going to do a roll call vote. JT?
Yay.
Andy?
Yay.
Brian?
That's a yes.
And Bob?
Okay.
All right, folks. We are adjourned. And thanks, everyone. I'll see you next month.
Hopefully we'll see people on Saturday.
Yes.
Come down to
Yes.
the park. All right.
All right.
Have a good night.
Right. You too.
Good night.